Hey guys, hope all is well. Sorry about the hiatus, but I am back for my picks for UFC on Fox, Dillashaw vs. Barão 2, so here we go. Like usual, the main card is all I will do in the video, so if you want my undercard picks, they'll be in the description below. Anyway, to the main event, at the top we'll go with Dillashaw vs. Barão in the rematch. Initially, this was scheduled for UFC 177, but Barão was hospitalized for passing out trying to make weight in the sauna. So in comes Joe Soto on short notice, who Dillashaw pretty much destroys convincingly. Then for UFC 186, it's Dillashaw who pulls out of the scheduled rematch, citing a broken rib. Let's just hope that both parties are near 100% for this one. If so, I don't see a lot of things happening differently than the first bout. Maybe a sooner finish is in the cards for TJ, or a sooner and more surprising from Barão, who knows. That being said, TJ can match Barão for natural quickness. TJ is light on his feet and has good hand speed and looks comfortable striking while moving laterally. While Barão is a fearsome shoot-to-box style Muay Thai striker coming out of Novo União, he really needs you to be in the pocket long enough for him to execute a combo on you. Because of TJ's Edgar-like lateral movement, I don't see Barão establishing advantage early with leg kicks or clinch attempts, and quite frankly, I don't think he'll be ready for a takedown either. Look for TJ to set double legs up towards the end of rounds to ice them in his favor in case it goes the distance. Now, we've seen Barão go 5 rounds in the past, but it's safe to say that he'd prefer not to. He'd like to overwhelm TJ with a forward-moving combo to finish him, if not a flash counter overhand or a straight down the middle to get the job done and maybe finish with an RNC. But again, we've seen Dillashaw neutralize the dynamic offense of Barão with that lateral movement, as well as savvy boxing from either the orthodox and more so the southpaw stance. Because of this, I gotta go Dillashaw winning at least 3 rounds in the scheduled 5 for an exciting unanimous decision victory. Moving on, we have what is likely the #1 contender match in the women's bantamweight division. It's Cupcake Miesha Tate versus Jessica the Evil Eye. Right off the bat, Tate needs to take this shit down to the mat or she's done for. On the feet, Eye is a monster and she really is evil. She made Leslie Smith guess on what was coming, making her fear the leg kicks, and of course, ultimately got thrown on to the skull, most notably that ear. Eye uses constant lateral movement to avoid clinch or takedown attempts from her opponent while battering them simultaneously with a variety of strikes. The leg and body kicks are vicious and the hands are always super crisp, and she has an iron will as well. I don't see Miesha with her pillow punches troubling Eye whatsoever as long as it is standing. Miesha's base is her wrestling and it shows. I think Jessica's camp will have an emphasis on good sprawls and lateral movement to minimize Miesha's takedown effectiveness. Look for Jessica Eye to land an overhand right or a straight repeatedly onto Miesha's pretty face to create some sort of hematoma. So that's my pick, Jessica Eye via destruction, I'd say a round 2 finish. Next up, we have the Irish Dragon Paul Felder versus Edson Barboza in lightweight. Felder in his last fight had a beautiful spinning back fist KO, which is one of the knockout of the year candidates for at least that first half of 2015. Up until putting Danny Castillo's lights out, he showed good resilience in the departments of takedown and striking defense. Like Castillo really couldn't get anything going at all here. Felder is a Taekwondo and Muay Thai specialist, but his counter wrestling and Jiu-Jitsu is solid enough too, coming from Renzo Gracie's camp. That being said, he won't have to worry much about the grappling aspect of things facing a guy like Edson Barboza. Edson is more so known for his vicious leg kicks, of course, and if he wants to win this fight, he better use them. I don't think Edson's sharp enough as a boxer to just dictate the pace of the fight with his hands, despite having a 5-inch reach advantage. Against Michael Johnson, his hands were definitely exploited, but that may be in part to Johnson's natural hand speed himself and the threat of a takedown coming from a D1 guy like Johnson. Since Felder, in my opinion, is not as threatening in either department, I think Barboza will be more at ease just landing leg kicks. He'll look to rip them and go upstairs when the opportunity is right. As a result, I'm just going to say something conservative, a TKO in round 2 for Junior. I really don't know what Felder can do that will trouble Barboza unless he can out-Barboza, which I think is unlikely. Maybe a flash knockout is in the books for the Irish Dragon, but we'll see. Last but not least, a super entertaining bout to kick off the main card. It's the Fireball Kid Takanori Gomi taking on Joe Lauzon. And right off the bat, both these guys got owned in their last bouts and will be surely looking for a visually appealing way to get back on track. Gomi has superior hand speed and can knock you out cold with either hand, whether it's a straight, a hook, or overhand at any given time. His counter wrestling is still somewhat solid in this day and age too. As long as he's not facing a D1 guy in general, I think he can thwart most takedown attempts. Joe Lauzon, if he wants to get it down to the ground, which he pretty much always does, he typically hurts you on the feet and then owns you on the mat. Joe is definitely superior jiu-jitsu wise, and I'd say Gomi's advantage standing up is not as vast, not even close. Plus, Gomi has way more fight years under his belt and is clearly not as trigger friendly at his age now. I think his former attitude would rather help him here instead of trying to counterpunch J-Lo at each of their stages of their career. Not sure if it will be as a result of a knockdown, but I think J-Lo gets it to the mat somehow and finishes with an RNC or a guillotine, something like that. So there's my pick, Joe Lauzon via sub. He hasn't had a first round sub in a while, so I'll say he gets one here. Don't want to downplay Gomi's power though. A KO from his end is entirely plausible. Who knows in the end though. Anyway guys, that's it for my UFC on Fox 16 picks. Let me know in the comments if you like this new format and tell me what your picks are as well. Thanks again for watching and enjoy the event. Take care. Peace.